It is officially the last day of school with students. This area started off kind of organized and then it literally just became like Tetris, and I just started shoving stuff in there as best as I could. So it is officially the end of the day. My students are all gone. Good morning, YouTube. So I did have a little bit of a busy weekend on Sunday. Billy and I had to drive up to Pennsylvania to like the Reading area to visit with his mom's side of the family. It was his grandmother's 89th birthday on the 31st of May, which actually is the same day as my dad's birthday, which is kind of ironic. And then I have the same birthday as one of his aunts. But we spent the entire day there. We did not get home until like 1 a.m. Then the next morning, we couldn't even sleep in that late. We had to get up. We had to clean our house because our landlord had to come to do a walkthrough because we have a 2-year lease and we're halfway through it. And that took up most of the day. I'll be honest, I took a nap afterwards because I was exhausted, and then I had to finish editing my vlog, and I didn't get a whole lot else done, but we're getting there. It is the last Monday, at least with kids, of the school year. It is our last full week of school. Next week, just teachers have to go on Monday, and then that's it. So I can see the end in sight. I know I'll be able to rest and relax this summer, so it's okay if I'm tired this week. I do have a smoothie for breakfast this morning, but I'm also gonna go ahead and get some coffee too, because I feel like I need it this week. And then I will catch up with you all at school. Good morning. Can I get a medium iced latte with the cookie dough flavor, please? That'll be it. Thank you. I did want to quickly go over our schedule for today because it's a little bit different. We have 50-minute blocks this morning, and then we will have our homeroom class in the afternoon, because this afternoon we are doing our Paw Printers reading event. If you don't know what Paw Printers is, it's okay, because it's just something that my school does. Basically, our students submit a story and then it gets published into a book and they do their illustrations, and then we have a reading day where their parents can come in and hear them read their book. That will be happening this afternoon from 2 o'clock to about the end of the day, however long it takes. So we're basically done with instruction. Like, at this point, it's the last week of school. It's just not going to be the same as the rest of the school year. So with my 50-minute blocks this morning, I think I'm going to play sink or swim with them again, because I did really enjoy that when I did it after park. If you don't know what sink or swim is, basically you have 2 teams, one at a time. One person from each team will answer a question. If they get it correct, they can either sink someone from the other team and make them sit down and be out of the game, or they can swim someone from their team, which means someone on their team who is out of the game, they can bring them back into the game and make them stand back up. But if they get the question wrong, then they are sunk and they have to sit down. So I think I'm gonna do it with some Disney trivia, because I feel like that's the most like fair thing that most of my students are familiar with. That will take up the morning time. Then this afternoon, like I said, we'll have the Paw Printers event after recess, and that will be it for today. So I need to set up for the Paw Printers reading event this afternoon. I have these programs that the parents can take, and then all of the students and their books are written on the inside, and then here are all of the actual Paw Printers books. So I have ordered them in the order that the students' names are in here, and I'm just gonna have them read in that order. I did get a little thing of mini water bottles for the parents if they want them, and then I also got chocolate chip cookies. Now I got 36 of them and I have 29 students, so fingers crossed that I end up having enough left to give to my class. That's kind of the plan. It's for the parents first, but any that are left over, my students will be able to eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try to lay this out so that it looks halfway decent. Hello again. It is the end of the day. So I ended up having a lunch bunch, so I was not able to vlog then, but it's okay. I'm having a lot of lunch bunches this week because a lot of my students are redeeming their Cup Kudos stamps for lunch bunches, which is totally fine. I have a group on Friday of like 7 or 8 girls where they all put their Cup Kudos together, which is totally fine. And I'm enjoying like that last little bit of time to be able to spend with them, like more in like a one-on-one type of setting. The Paw Printers reading event this afternoon went so well. I loved hearing my students get to read their stories, and a lot of them had like salad sound effects, and they brought in props, and like they were just so into it. I love being able to see them be creative, and then I love even more getting to see them share that with the class. So tomorrow we are doing something called Decimal Olympics. So we have this or Math Olympics. We used to call it Decimal Olympics, but this year my team teacher changed it to Math Olympics. I will go into more detail with this tomorrow, but basically we're not going to have our block classes tomorrow. We're not even really going to have our homeroom classes tomorrow because our students are going to work in groups, and they are all mixed up within the grade. So in the morning after cultural arts, we will tell our students their groups, they will get into those groups, and then they're just going to be doing rotations. So by the end of the day, I will have had all of the 4th grade students. So I'll give you more details on that tomorrow. But for now, I actually need to get to the gym. I need to meet Billy there. And then tonight I am working on some awards that I'm going to be giving my students later in the week. So I will catch up with you all in the morning. Good morning, YouTube. I will be lucky if I get up early enough to wear makeup at least one day this week. It is just not happening, and that's what happens at the end of the school year. Plus, as it gets warmer, I hate wearing makeup because I feel like it just melts off of my face, and I don't like it. So we're just going all natural as much as I can this week. Last night I prepped the awards I'm gonna give to my students on Wednesday. I still need to print them out, but I sorted who was gonna get what award. I typed them into the awards, so I'll just print them tonight, and that'll be one of the last things that I have to prep this week for the last week of school. I am gonna go get Chick-Fil-A breakfast this morning. Instead of making a smoothie, I just did not want a smoothie this morning. I don't know, I'm just really craving Chick-Fil-A breakfast. So that's what I'm gonna go get, and then I will catch up with you all at school. Good morning, can I get a #1 meal, just the original biscuit with a frosted coffee?
Alright, anything else I can get for you today, ma'am?
Nope, that'll be it.
Alrighty, your call's gonna come out to 703, just go forward, to serve you.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
So I mentioned that today the entire 4th grade was doing Math Olympics. They used to call it Decimal Olympics, but we changed the name to Math Olympics. So I wanted to quickly show you before I have people even asking me, are you gonna put this in your TPT store? No, you're free to use this idea, but I'm not putting the recording sheet because I did not make this. This was left over from previous years. So no, this will not be added to my TPT store, but you can at least get the idea from this. So each team has 4 members, a captain, a recorder, materials, and sportsmanship. We have already put them into these teams. So they don't get to pick their teams. We did try to put them with some of their friends, but we tried to match up some people from my class with some people from my team teacher's class so that there's a mix of all of 4th grade. So we have already decided their teams, but they will get to come up with a team name. And then this is the recording sheet. So they're just going to have one of these per group, and whoever is the recorder will carry this on a clipboard, and they record their stats at all of the different events. So there are a total of 6 events. We have 5 teachers. There's 4 4th grade teachers, and we have our TA. So one of the stations, they're actually going to do 2 different events. So one of the events is a football toss. So they're just going to throw the football as far as they can and then measure the distance in meters. They're going to record it for each team member, the distance, and then record the farthest distance thrown. Then they will do a relay sprint among their team, and they will do it twice and record the time. Then they will do tape jump. So there is a line of tape down the middle of the floor, and they have to jump over it as many times as they can in a minute. So they will record that for each team member, and then they will find the average of their team. Then the bucket milliliter relay, which is actually the event that I am running. Basically, our students are going to have a bucket of water, and then actually here, I have it over here. So they're gonna have a bucket of water at the end, and then at the other end, they're gonna have this. So they're gonna use this 50 milliliter cylinder. They're gonna run down, fill it up with water, come back and pour it in here, and they have to do it until they get to 400 milliliters, which since they're on teams of 4, each person will go 2 different times. So I'm letting them do it twice, and then they're just recording the fastest time, I'm sorry, down here, the fastest time of those 2 times that they attempt it. And then the last 2 events, we have a book hold. So basically each person stands with their arms straight out to the side. So they almost make like a cross, and they're holding a book, like a science textbook, in each hand, and they're holding it there as long as they can. And they're just timing how long they can hold it there. And then they'll find the total time for their team. And then the cup challenge. So we have a stack of like 6 cups, and they have this little contraption that we made with like a rubber band, and then there's 4 pieces of string tied to it. So each member holds onto a piece of string, and they have to work together to stretch the rubber band, put it over the cup, and then pull the cup up and make a new stack. So they're recording how long it takes them to do that and move the entire stack from here over to the side and make a new stack, and then they will do the best team time. So we're doing 3 rotations before lunch, 2 rotations after lunch, and then we're each just gonna put on a movie, and all of the team teachers are gonna meet together. We're gonna look at all of the different times from the events, and we're gonna give first, second, and third place awards to some of the different things. So like the football toss, the relay sprints, the bucket relay. We're not gonna do all of the events, just some of them. There will be first, second, and third. So we got some cheap medals off of Amazon, and we will award those medals to the people who got them. So not everyone's gonna get a medal, but that's okay. Like, we're just doing it to the top teams because we didn't want to buy 120 medals for every kid to get them, so only some kids will. It is now lunchtime. I have had a lot of fun with the Math Olympics this morning. It's been really exciting. The kids have been really good sports and like cheering each other on, which is great. It was a little hectic for me because I was set up in this like courtyard area that we have outside, and then a class was coming out there for lunch, so I had to move all of the stuff to the opposite side of the school. So it was a little bit hectic, but it's okay. I'm just gonna keep the stuff there for the last 2 rotations after lunch. I do think after lunch will go more smoothly now that I've had 3 groups. Like, I'm able to tell them like, hey, make sure you do this. I have each team set it back up after they're done. That way it's ready for the next group that comes in. And I think that this is fun that we're doing it with all of 4th grade together. I know in years past, sometimes they did it with just the math teachers doing it, and they would do it over the course of like 2 different days. But I actually think it runs more smoothly with us doing it all in one day with all of the classes going at the same time, and it's perfect for the end of the year because they get their energy out and it's not like too math intensive. Like, there is math with it, but it's not a ton. It's just kind of a fun way to celebrate at the end of the year. Let them be a little bit competitive with each other. Let them work on their teamwork and all of that. So I am happy that we've done it. I'm just a little bit tired. I'm gonna enjoy my lunch. We'll have the 2 rotations after lunch and then give out the awards, and that part of the day should be pretty relaxing. So I got some really sweet notes from 2 of my students this morning. This is just covering the student name, but this one says, "Dear Miss Ferré, you are the best teacher. Do you know how sad I am about leaving you? It is so sad thinking about it. I mean, you changed my thinking about school. I always look forward to come to school. You have made learning fun. You should get an award. I will never forget you or our funny moments. And when you lip sing and dance, I will miss your funny voices and stories. You have inspired me and told me I can be anything. I will always come and see you. You always lift up my day when I come and give you a big hug when you have a smile on your face. You have inspired me to do a lot of things like running. I am so happy to run my first 10K. You are so nice, cool, and the best teacher I could ever have." And then this says, "You are so sweet, just like a Reese's," which is so cute. And then this one says, "Dear Miss Ferré, you have made my year amazing. I hope you had a great year as well. I will miss you so much when I go to 5th grade and graduate. You totally changed my opinion on math. I hope you have a blast teaching next year. At first I hated math in 3rd grade, but you changed that for me. I am honored to be a part of your very first year teaching here. You are a very fun and bubbly person, and I hope your class next year is as good of a class as this year. If I could give you a nice, big, huge award, I would. Your fave student." Just so sweet and exactly what I needed today. Hello again. It is now the end of the day. I have just had one of those days, if I'm being completely honest, where every little thing has just been like annoying me and I'm not in a good mood. I will fully admit that. Every little thing has been making me stressed out, and I've just been getting like really uptight really easily. So I'm not gonna stay here long at all. I want to get home and like relax. I need to like go for a walk and just get my mind in a different space because I've just not been in a good mood. And I think part of it is because last days are chaotic, and it just is a little bit difficult for me because I like things to be very orderly. I always like to have a plan, and that plan kind of falls apart in the last few days, and that's just really difficult for me to adjust to, especially on days like today when we're doing all of 4th grade. Like, that's so much fun. But towards the end of the day when we were handing out awards, we had to first condense the classes into 2 of our team teachers' rooms. So there were like 60 kids in each room while the team teachers all figured out the awards. Then we condensed the kids all into 1 room to hand out the awards. So there were like 120 kids in 1 classroom, and it was just insane. So I have a big headache and I'm just like stressed and I need to go home. So that's what I'm gonna do. Tomorrow is our last day with our block classes. So we are gonna do some fun activities. I will show you all of those in the morning. But for now, I'm gonna get home and I'll catch up with you then. Good morning, YouTube. The last time that I talked to you, I told you that I was just feeling really stressed, and there wasn't really a specific reason. I just get like that sometimes. So to remedy that, when I got home, I made sure that I went for a nice long walk, which usually makes me feel a lot better, and it did. I also was really productive when I got home. Like, first thing, I printed out the awards that I needed for today for our class, like superlatives that we're doing. I also made up a Google Slides presentation for the activity that we're gonna do in class today, and I'll show you that when I get to school. And I finished all that, and I finished eating dinner by like 7 the clock, and then I was able just to relax the rest of the night, which I desperately needed. So I feel a lot better. Besides the fact that I'm tired, I overslept this morning until like 7:05, which is really late for me. Like 7 is usually my limit. Like I don't sleep past 7. Today I woke up at 7:03 and I was like, you know what, I might as well sleep until 7:05, but it's okay, we are getting there. After today, I have to wake up 3 more times and then it's the end of the school year, so I can make it. I am gonna go get myself some coffee per usual, and I'll catch up with you all at school. So today is our last day of block classes, and I'm going to be doing minute to win it games with my students. I love doing minute to win it games because it's super engaging for the students and you need minimal material, so it's perfect for the end of the year. This slide will be up when my students come in the room, so it just says, are you ready to play minute to win it? Start thinking about your team of 4. My students are going to be on teams of 4 because there are 4 different events. I'm going to let them pick their teams, and I'm also going to let them pick which event they each do. So I'm actually going to go through and show a video to introduce each one of the different games that we're playing. So these are from YouTube. I will show you at the end how to like insert these, but it just goes through like how to play the game, and they're pretty short. Each one is like under a minute, so it just introduces the game. And I have one of these. Yeah. So I have one of these for each of the games that we're playing. So I will show them each of those, and then what I'm going to have them do is decide who on their team is going to play each of the 4 games. So each person is only going to do 1 game, but everyone in the class will get a chance to participate. And then of course I have the timer, and again I just inserted this from YouTube, and it counts down. Begins in 3, 2, 1. And there's like music and sound effects to make it nice and dramatic. But it's really easy if you've never inserted a video from YouTube before. Basically, you just go up here to insert, and then you go to video, and then in the first tab, you can actually search on YouTube. So I can just search minute to win it timer, search, and then you can insert the video from here. So like if I use this one, double click it, it will insert it in, and then I usually just stretch it to take up the entire slide. So I pulled out all of my materials just to show you how easy it is to get this set up. So for the A Bit Dicey, basically they're going to hold a popsicle stick in their mouth, so each kid will get their own popsicle stick. When they do it, they're obviously not going to share that. So I have a pile of popsicle sticks. They hold this in their mouth, and then they have to try to balance 6 dice on top, and they stack them like this. So all I need for that is popsicle sticks and dice. The next game is called Tilt-A-Cup. So for this one, they have 6 cups and 6 ping pong balls. Basically, they have the stack of cups, they bounce a ping pong ball, they catch it in here, and then they take a cup from the bottom and put it on top, and they do it again. They bounce a ping pong ball and catch it. So at the end, they have a big stack of all of these ping pong balls and the cups, and since the cups are sitting on the ping pong balls, they're not completely steady, so they have to make sure that they don't knock it over. This one is called like You Blow Me Away or something like that. All they will need is a balloon and then 15 cups. So the 15 cups will be laid out in like a row, and they're going to blow up the balloon and then use the air to try to knock over all 15 cups within the minute. And then Cookie Face is one of the most popular ones. They will have an Oreo cookie on their forehead. They have to use their face muscles to try to get it down to their mouth and catch it in their mouth. The video said 2 Oreo cookies, but I'm just going to do 1 cookie each.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1. You can't do it.
Come on, Miss Ferré. You're better than this. Come on, Miss Ferré. What if your nose is too Oh, jeez.
No way. No way.
Get it, get it, get it.
Good morning, YouTube. As we get closer and closer to the end of the school year, I'm getting more and more tired and sleeping in later and later and putting in less and less effort in the morning. But I am up. It's about 7:20. I'm leaving about 5 minutes late. I do not have planning time today, but it is an early dismissal day, so I will have about 2 hours after school to get some stuff done, get some stuff packed up. And I'm starting to get sad that I'm leaving my students. Like, yesterday was our last day of blocks, and at the end of both of my blocks, I just kind of sat down, like, talked with my kids, you know, told them, like, once my student, always my student, like, I'm always here for you if you need anything. And like, I actually did start tearing up. So it's starting to hit me that it's the end of the school year, and like, yes, I'm excited because I want to sleep in and I want to get stuff done, but I am really going to miss my students. So I'm gonna go get myself a coffee, and then I will catch up with you at school. Since it is the second to last day of school, something I will be doing today is my class auction. As I go through my room and I find things that I don't want or I want to get rid of, after I offer it to other teachers, I usually just give it away to my kids. So this year's auction is going to be a little bit different. In the past, I always had dojo points, so my students would get to spend whatever dojo points they had left. But this year, I didn't really use that because we had a school-wide incentive program called Cup Kudos where they earn stamps. So what I'm going to do for today is each kid is going to get a slip of paper that starts with 100. So they have 100 like fake dollars to spend at the auction, and they could spend it like all on one item that they really want, or they could get a bunch of smaller things. And I'm gonna run it just like a typical auction. So this is just a collection of like random stuff that I'm getting rid of. Like, I have all of these dice that I honestly have not used all year. They've been sitting in a container. I have some of these like puzzle things that I'm getting rid of. Those were from second grade. I have these containers that I'm getting rid of, and my girls love containers. I also have some stuff in here, and I have these caddies. So it should be more than enough for everyone to get at least one item, but obviously some students may get more than others just depending on what they want to spend their money on. But that way every student is starting with the same amount, and it's just up to them how they actually spend it at the auction. It is already the end of the day, and I know that I barely vlogged today and I barely vlogged yesterday. I forgot to tell you, yesterday my camera died, hence why I did not get a lot of footage. Today it's just been chaotic. It was the second to last day of school. I didn't have planning time, but it was a fun day. We started off by doing a kickball game. Two of the fourth grade classes went against each other, and then the other two classes went against each other. We have two different kickball fields, so we had both games going at the same time. We had a little bit of arguments about rules and sportsmanship and all that kind of stuff, but overall it was fun. We came in, we relaxed, we watched a movie, we were watching The Greatest Showman, and my students were really into it. And I'm working on just getting stuff put away in my room. If you kind of look, I mean, a majority of it is gone. Like, as you can see, this area is like all empty. Unfortunately, I haven't been filming most of it because I'm having students help me, and I'm trying to get it done while my students are here, because if I can put my students to work and get them to do little tasks for me, it makes it go by so much faster. So I have not been doing a whole lot when my students weren't here. We did have early dismissal today, so our students left at 1:35 instead of 3:35, but then the fourth grade teachers all had stuff that we had to do together. We had to check their cume folders and things like that. But it is now about 4:10. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, go to the gym, go home and relax, and then tomorrow I'll show you like the final of everything packed up and all of that. I mean, right now things are kind of chaotic and I'm still moving things around, but when I am completely done, I will show you how I've packed everything up. Honestly, I don't have a ton of like tips and things. When I actually packed up to like move classrooms in one of my really old vlogs from last year, I did talk more about like packing tips. So I'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow, but I don't have too much. I mean, honestly, I'm just kind of putting stuff into cabinets, but tomorrow I will show you like the final look at my room as I leave for this year. Good morning, YouTube. It is officially the last day of school with students. I'm feeling excited. I was nervous last night and like couldn't fall asleep. I mean, I don't know, nervous is probably not the right word, but I just had a lot on my mind, and like I'm actually really sad to be leaving my students. I know I'll see them next year, and I'll probably see them over the summer and things like that, so it's not a huge deal. It's not like last year where I was leaving and like moving to somewhere else and I was like an emotional wreck and bawling. I probably will still like maybe cry a little bit today, but my focus for today is really just enjoying time with my students. I'm not gonna be packing too much like during the day. I'll do little things here or there, but I'll mostly focus on that after school, because while my students are in school, I really just want to spend time with them and enjoy those last few moments. So our schedule today, we don't have too much going on. I don't like the last day to be too chaotic. I will have my planning time, and then after my planning time, we're gonna come back. We had started Greatest Showman yesterday, so we're gonna finish that, go to lunch. After lunch, we are doing like an ice cream party, and that's gonna be it. Oh, we also have beach balls to give to our students. That's like our end of the year gift that we're giving signing them, and then we're gonna have them sign each other's. So that'll take up some time. I am gonna go get some coffee for myself this morning, and then I'll catch up with you at school. Hi, can I get a medium iced latte with the cookie dough flavor, please?
Okay, anything else?
No, that'll be it. Thank you. So I'm a little bit confused right now. When I left yesterday, my desks were all in their normal spots, and now they're all stacked on top of each other. All of these like drawer units in the back are all stacked up, and these were like behind the computer. So I'm kind of really confused as to how all of this got done. I guess it's okay. I mean, I guess I could have my students like sit on the floor for today. I don't really want to stack all of the desks if they're already stacked up. I don't know. I'm gonna have to like ask my team teachers and be like, how did this happen? I'm really confused right now. So these are the gifts that we got for our room moms. I was blessed enough to have it. 2 different room moms. They were both absolutely amazing. So we got these bags from Five Below, and then inside of them, I have them stuffed with tissue paper so you can't really see, but there is a towel. There are 2 like plastic wine glasses. There are some like lemonade packets, and there is a koozie. So we didn't go like super crazy, but just a little something to show them that we appreciate them. And then I mentioned we were giving each student a beach ball. So we got these off of Amazon. They came in either a 12 pack or a 36 pack. So we got 3 36 packs and then an extra 12 pack to cover all 120 students. And then we all just split the cost. So each student's going to get a beach ball. They're all exactly the same. They're going to get Sharpies, and they're going to have other students sign them. And just a tip, if you ever do this, once the students start signing them, it gets really difficult for them to keep track of their own ball. So what we have the students do is buy the little blowhole where they actually blow the ball up. That white circle, we have them write their name in that circle. That way if it gets lost, we can easily identify whose ball it is. So it is officially the end of the day. My students are all gone. I'll talk to you about that in a minute, but I did want to kind of show you my room like packed up. I'm sorry that I didn't film a lot of me actually packing it, but like I said, I tried to put my students to work and they actually did a lot of it for me, so I wasn't able to film that, but I'll kind of just give you the after shot so you can see what my empty classroom looks like. We are fortunate enough that we can actually leave stuff up on the walls, so I was able to leave my bulletin boards up and like little things like I have around my clock. Now on Monday, teachers do have to come back, and since I don't really have anything to do, I probably will cover these with paper just to protect them in case any work is done in my room and they get dusty, but I was able to leave most of that up, and you can see Our Brightest work board is still up, which is really awesome. So I'll just kind of start here and then move around. These are my bins that I had at the end of each group. They are all empty, and I've just labeled each one with painter's tape with my name and my room number. That way if they get taken out of my room, they can find their way back into my room. I like to use blue painter's tape instead of masking tape or instead of like packaging tape, because those tend to leave like a residue and can be difficult to get off, but painter's tape is super easy. This actually was a roll that I got from the dollar store. It worked perfectly well. Then you'll see my entire back counter is all cleaned off along with the top part. So I'll kind of show you the inside of my cabinets. I literally just shoved stuff in here the best that I could. You'll see all those bins in the back. Those were there before, and I put my pencil sharpener there and my read lights. And then those red bins in the back were there before. I just put some extra textbooks and my umbrella. And then this one had a bunch of like extra paper and composition books, so I moved those over to the side. Those are some things from my desk area. I also have my lamps down here, my clipboards down here, and a couple other like random things, because I literally just end up putting things wherever I can fit them. These black bins are all from my library area. They were all on top of my library holding picture books. And then I have some bins down here and some extra supplies. This actually has a bunch of like erasers, dry erase markers, and highlighters that were all still working that I will use again next year and put in their caddies. Not a whole lot actually changed in these upper cabinets. You'll see this one still has all of the Sterilite bins that I had in there before. None of that changed. Because these fit perfectly in there, I don't need to do anything with them. Same thing for this cabinet. It has some of my bigger ones. This one I didn't really move too much around as well, but you will notice the random thing of graph paper that got stuck in there, but the rest of it I just kind of configured things so I could fit a little bit more in there, but it's not too bad. These cabinets, however, are a little bit of a hot mess. So this one actually is pretty good. Not too much changed with this one. I did put some stuff up there at the top. So those are containers of construction paper. Those are magnetic holders that I have on my board, but the rest of it is basically all the same. I did put one of my things of Sterilite drawers from my desk inside of my recess caddy, but the rest of it is exactly the same. This cabinet I'm gonna be careful opening because as you can see, I have anchor chart paper just kind of carefully balancing on there, but you can kind of see my math bins, which used to be like 3 across. I actually turned them to the side, so that used to be the front. I turned it to the side so that I could fit 4, 2 and 2, and then there's 2 and 2 over there, and it gave me a little bit extra space over here where I could put stuff, so things like base 10 blocks, little things of rubber bands, and really just anything that I could fit in that space. And then you'll even see back here, I have the caddy from my back table, and then this thing of rainbow drawers from my desk fit perfectly. And then we have this cabinet, which kind of just became like the catch-all cabinet. I put a lot of stuff in there. I'm a little bit proud of myself of this side, how evenly I fit things in there. Like, come on, I could not have made it more perfect if I tried. So I have things like my broom and my PVC pipe that has all of my meter sticks in it, my cart with all of my graded work that usually is out, I put in here, along with some like book bins. I even have like flowers strategically placed, and then my containers that hold task cards. This area started off kind of organized, and then it literally just became like Tetris, and I just started shoving stuff in there as best as I could. So this drawer is basically the same as it was all year. This one was empty, so this has a lot of like decorations and things that I've had around the room. I just put into there. Now, one other small tip I did want to give you, if you are packing up your room and you don't have a lot of space, you need to utilize every little bit of space that you can find. So things like these drawers that get put away, I actually put stuff in the drawer. So this one has lights that I had up. This one has clipboards and things. Use every little bit of space that you can in order to pack more efficiently. Again, I left the bulletin boards up and those posters up because I don't need to take them down. My fan is going to come home with me over the summer. My rug is staying. They will vacuum it and all that good stuff and then put it back in my room. This is a container filled with stuff that I am leaving in here. So again, I marked it with my room number, and I also put tape on the sides of the drawers. That way, if they do move it, I don't have to worry about the drawers coming open. Then I have my bookshelf also labeled, and I even put an extra label and I said, hey, if you happen to find another bookshelf, I would love to have it because I only have one in my classroom. Some teachers have 3, and it would be really, really nice to at least have a second one. So fingers crossed that they can find me another one. You'll have to stay tuned for my classroom tour video in the fall to find out if I end up getting it. This area is all cleaned off. This is a bulletin board. It's like a navy blue color. You can kind of see it back here. I actually covered it with felt and then bulletin board border. I'm just gonna leave that up. Fingers crossed that it does okay over the summer. This blue paper is to cover up this area. So I cleaned off the top of my cabinets and I just kind of shoved a lot of stuff in here. So things like my classroom toolbox, my stapler, my tape, all that kind of stuff is just put in here. I'm gonna cover it with this paper, but I'm waiting until Monday to see if I need any more of it. These cabinets just had binders. Those are all staying. I am gonna go through these binders on Monday when I have extra time and just kind of clean them out. I'm not gonna get super close to my desk because I do have a yearbook that a student left behind, and I have some report card envelopes, and those all have student names on them. But that big bag on the floor is all coming home with me, along with my bag that's on the chair. And then I don't have too much left in this area. I even labeled my trash can. You guys are probably gonna laugh at me, but just in case it gets removed, I wanna make sure it comes back to me. My orchid I will take home with me over the summer. This blue bin I will take home with me over the summer. This actually has most of my desk stuff. That way when I come in the fall, I can bring this in with me, and it's one of the first things that I put out. So in here, I have another stapler, I have another tape dispenser, I have lots of scissors. All those items that I will need first thing when I get in my classroom, I have in this box. That way I don't have to rummage through cabinets and try to find it. All of this stuff will be with me. It can be the first thing that I put out. I'm just gonna push that back in. There we go. So I highly recommend at the end of the year, pack up your back to school box. So that box with all of those first little items that you want to have and be able to put out, even if it's something simple. Like I have a thing of flowers because I love putting my decorations out and just making my classroom feel like home again. So I highly recommend you get some kind of like plastic tub or something to pack those items in and then take them home with you. I did leave some tissues on my desk just in case I need them Monday. I have 2 black tubs here. Again, I labeled them with my name and room number. This area is all cleared off. And then this is where a lot of my like flexible seating things are. I have covered up my library library bookshelves with paper. Actually, I did not cover them. My TA covered them. God bless her. She's the best. I have like my bean bags, my table. I have some more drawers, which again, I tape the drawers shut and I put my name and room number on the top with the painter's tape. But all of these items you will notice are labeled with my name and room number. That way they can make their way back to me. These are boxes of books that were on the top shelf here, and those also are labeled with my name. And then finally, we're almost back at the door. These are some shelves with textbooks. Those are all covered with paper. These are both labeled with my name and room number because I don't have anywhere to put them, so that way they can be brought back to me. And then over here, another trash can and recycling bin, both of which have my name and room number on them, just like the other ones. And then this bulletin board I will leave up, and that is an emergency bag that I have to turn in at the end of the year. And I don't know if I ever showed you this part. This is my table. All of my chairs, all of my desks are just stacked on top of each other, and I had my students help me with that at the end of the day. So let me kind of sit down and talk about my day. I know I didn't get a chance to vlog a lot, but my goal was just to be as productive as possible this week and get my room packed up, which it is now Friday. I'm leaving. My room is basically almost all the way done. So Monday I won't have much to do at all, which is what I wanted, just to make me feel less stressed out. So that meant that I didn't have as much like vlog footage, but hopefully you all understand. I know if you're a teacher, you totally understand because you know what the end of the year is like. So thank you in advance just for being understanding with that. During my planning time this morning, my one team teacher actually did not have planning time because the librarian had to do inventory of books, so she was not able to take her class. And I thought it was kind of unfair that like she had her kids, but the rest of us didn't. So I actually took a couple of her students and had them help me with things around my room, just a little task here and there, getting things packed up, getting things cleaned. I had them go through my library, go through all the books, make sure they were in the correct spots. If you are interested in what kinds of tasks I have my students do at the end of the year, I actually have a product in my TPT store. It's called End of the Year Organization. I will link it for you in the description box. I actually have a checklist included in there of jobs that students can do. Plus, I have a video where I talk all about end of the year kind of stuff. So I will link that in the description box for you as well. So I don't go into too much detail right now because I do have other videos on it. So after I had the students help me, I sent them back to their homeroom teacher. I brought my class back and we finished The Greatest Showman, which actually was really, really good. I had not seen it. The music was fantastic and they really enjoyed it. I had some leftover juice boxes that I was not using, so I gave them all a juice box. One of my students brought in dum-dums for all of them, so they each got a dum-dum. We sat and enjoyed the movie. Then I handed out their beach balls, which I showed you earlier. I forgot to mention, they're not the full-size beach balls. They're like a little bit smaller beach balls, so I will link those for you in the description box as well. That actually was a really big hit. They enjoyed having each other sign them. They all blew them up. I had them sign each other's in the classroom. Then we took all of the fourth graders outside. We have a little fenced-in area, so we made them stay in that fenced-in area. They got a chance to sign each other's, which was great. Then we came back in and went to lunch. I actually ended up having a lunch bunch with like 7 or 8 girls. They had all turned in their Cub Kudos to have a lunch bunch with me. So that was really fun on the last day of school. Once all of the students came back from lunch, we actually had like a 4th grade ice cream social. So all of our room parents came in and helped like with organizing all of that. Parents donated all of the ice cream and the toppings and all that. So we kind of created like an assembly line. We had tables set up out in the hall. We sent a couple students at a time to get their ice cream. Once they got it, they went outside and they enjoyed it like on the playground. That way when they were done their ice cream, they threw it away. They were able to run around. We came back inside, got our stuff, cleaned out lockers. Well, we had kind of already cleaned out lockers, but we made sure they got everything from their lockers. And then it was dismissal. And I'm not gonna lie, I was emotional. I was holding it together really well until one of my students, she's actually moving to the Netherlands this summer, and she started crying, and then I started crying and I just like lost it. But I wasn't too sad this year because I'm gonna see most of my students in the fall. It was really just my students who were moving that I got emotional about. But I have to say, just this year in general, I had a wonderful year. I kind of want to do a video like just recapping my whole year and maybe comparing it to like 2nd grade. I don't know, but I had a wonderful year. I'm kind of sad that that group of students is going on to 5th grade, but at the same time, like I can't wait to see where they end up in life and just all the great things that they do, because I had so many amazing kids who were talented in so many ways, and they were so kind and compassionate, and they were funny. And you know, when we were watching Greatest Showman at the end during the credits, it was playing a song and they had kind of started singing along, and then I paused it because it was basically at the end and they just kept singing it. And like the little moments like that I got to share with my class, I'm just so happy about. But moving on now from this school year, I do have to come in on Monday, but I'm not going to vlog because it's just one day. After that, my summer vacation will officially start, and that leads me to a question. What do you all want to see from me this summer? I do have several videos planned, like sit down type of videos, but my real question is vlogs. A lot of you have asked me if I'm going to continue to vlog this summer. Last summer I vlogged basically basically every week, just like I did in the school year. I don't think I want to do that this summer just because it is a lot, but I was thinking of like the days where I'm really focusing on things for my classroom, or I'm focusing on things for TPT, or days when I have a lot going on, that I would vlog those and probably just have like shorter vlogs. Instead of having like half an hour to an hour long vlogs, I would have more of like 10 to 15 minute vlogs. Tell me what you think of that. Leave a comment down below. I would love to know. Obviously, I want to produce content that you all want to see. So if you do have special requests, leave them down in the comments. I will totally read them, and I will make sure that I honor as many of them as I can. I did just want to say thank you to all of you for all of your support this year, and just seeing my channel grow has been amazing, and I'm in such a better place now compared to a year ago. I'm so much happier as a teacher. I've learned a lot more about myself, and I just feel like it's been a really good year for me in terms of growth and in terms of like happiness. And I'm so happy that you all were kind of able to join me on that ride and that journey and get to see it as well. So thank you just for being there for me the entire way. I am gonna go ahead and end this vlog because I'm anxious to get out of here. Billy and I tonight are gonna go grab some dinner, and then we're gonna go see Incredibles 2. We're gonna try to catch a later showing so it won't be too busy. So for the last time for the 2017-2018 school year, give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. As always, thank you for watching. I love you all so much. Don't forget to think positive, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video and for supporting my YouTube channel. If you want to check out any of my older videos, you can use the 2 links right down here. If you want to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos, you can use the link right up here. In the description box, you'll find links from my Teachers Pay Teachers store along with my PO address if you're interested. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.